What's happening, Sherry Nicole? What's going up, Woken Warriors? Abundance, what up? So you guys are gonna get to meet Shaun Robison tonight. I'm actually been looking forward to this conversation. Different than what I get to do often. So we're gonna have some fun tonight. You guys are gonna get to experience a very, very talented woman and friend. Good afternoon. What's that? Distorted Lens. That's a dope handle. Where are you guys signing in from? I can never tell. We get into the conversation so quickly and then it moves so fast. And then I don't get to talk to you guys. One second. So 2 weeks ago, we were nearing the end of the school year. And, oh, what's up, South Haven, Mississippi. I was in Dallas. Man, the devil was there, actually. I saw the devil. He was like, this month is hot. Michigan and Vegas. Charlotte. Charlotte is one of the coolest towns. Hey, Denver. Downtown is rough, man. What's going on? What are y'all doing? Gotta get you guys Nashville. There are not too many places that have better food than Nashville, unless, of course, you're going to go to New Orleans. Then it's a game. Orlando. Orlando's one of those cities that has just happened and continues to happen. And now it's a city. Saginaw, Michigan. Okay, that's what's up. Well, Saginaw, you are not very far from where Miss Robinson is. So also what I got to do this year for graduation was I got to be more than just a head of schools or founder of schools. I got to be a dad who graduated his last son from Capital Prep. So our oldest son graduated in 2020. And then our youngest son, Walker, he graduated a couple weeks ago. Well, no, last week, I'm sorry. And he's going to be going on to Morehouse. He's 16, he turns 17 next month. And for those of you who wonder, is he too young like my wife does? We're going to soon find out. I think he's ready. I think he's focused. I think he's hungry. He fell in love with Morehouse as soon as he hit there. As a matter of fact, he fell in love with Atlanta as soon as the ground hit. So it was, what's happening, Miss Lace? What's that, Latson? So it was a pretty big graduation for me because I got to send off my youngest son along with the other scholars that we have. But it was an emotional experience for me because I'm used to having my boys in school with me. A lot of people work in schools or start schools, or a lot of people who start schools don't send their kids to their schools. And our sons have always attended our schools, which has had its pluses and minuses. Yeah, it is wonderful. We got to learn how much the school was working and how much it wasn't working. I wasn't allowed to just come home and lay down my burdens from the day. I'd come home and my son and wife would tell me all the things that we could do better in our school. So graduating my youngest this year actually is a milestone because my initial plan when we started the first school in 2005, the year in which Walker, our youngest, was born, my initial plan was to run one school in Hartford until my youngest son graduated high school. And then when that happened, my plan was to leave education. I had no intentions of staying in education. In 2005, I was going to run the school for 17 years, 18 years. And then some waiting on me. Not sure how that's happened. I've invited her. Hold on one second. I've invited Miss Robinson. We'll see if we do it again. One moment, folks. Our guest is waiting. I don't see. I have invited her. I'll do it again. All right. Trying to. So if Miss Robinson, I know you're out there. I have invited you to join a couple times. I know she's coming. Hold on. All right. It's happening, John Wall. Okay, good for you. All right. Hold on 1 second. One second. We're having technical difficulties. Seal? We're just making sure we're trying. Okay. She says, there we go. Just invited you. Okay. All right. Just invited you, sis. I'll do it again.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
See,
okay,
wait a minute. I was over on my page live, and then I was waiting for you to send me a request. And I got on live like 2:57. And then my audience was telling me, no, you have to log off and go on to his live. Oh, I was early.
You sound like late. every student tells me the same exact story. It all starts that way. So what happened was I was where I was supposed to be, but you were not where you were supposed to be.
That's right.
How you been, sis?
I'm good. Good to see you. I love that painting behind you.
Thank you so much. You know what this is? This painting, I'll show that to you. This painting is what I refer to as the wedding painting. You know why?
Why?
All right. It's the wedding painting, which is good for a 90-day fiance, like really cool how I weave that in there. So it's a wedding painting because it cost me enough that the brother who painted it was able to start planning his wedding. And they got married.
Hilarious.
It's a true story.
Great. It's a beautiful, beautiful painting. Beautiful.
Brother, yeah. He's really talented. He's a really talented brother. So, hey, here's the thing. You know I'm actually a fan of 90-Day Fiance, right? Like, you know
no, I didn't know you watched 90-Day Fiance.
I do. I do.
Okay,
let me get a little known fact. Darcy, where I'm from.
you know Darcy? You know Darcy and Stacy?
I don't know them. I know them from TV Love. Like I know
Yeah,
them
you
that
know
way.
them TV that.
Like I have
Yeah.
opinions on them from there, but not from knowing them.
Okay, now it's interesting. It's so interesting, 90 Day Fiance. I was at Access Hollywood for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the audience for the entertainment shows like that skews mostly female. Okay. But that's not to say men don't watch it, but it skews predominantly female.
Hey, I'm a big
90
fan, and I'm all man.
No, I'm just saying 90 Day Fiance, men, women, young, old, like it spans generations and genders, and I'm telling you, which is so interesting for me, because like I cannot and the age range, you're talking about teenagers all the way up to, look, my mama watches it. Okay. So, well, she watches it because of me, but
She's
the
got what?
point
Because
is,
she's got her baby.
yeah. And couples, singles, like the audience for 90 Day is so diverse. And I'm thrilled. But it's always so exciting when I hear that.
I'm gonna tell you, listen. So, like, I have emotional connections because I was pulling for Sinjin. Like Tanya, I always felt like she's a mean woman. Ironically,
No, she's not. No, she's not.
I'm just can't say lives 10 minutes away from me. Another person. I'm not even lying. Look, Mike Jessen, old dude with the young woman. I'm telling you, I'm in there. Like, not
wait,
too far. I live in,
yeah. You live in the same area, vicinity as what?
Of these
Darcy,
three? Yeah.
Darcy, Tanya, and Mike.
Yes.
That's crazy. OMG.
Right. So I'm in there. And like I never even thought that I never thought that Robert and Ani would work out because she seemed like they just but they're the cutest couple.
They are the cutest, most adorable couple. Robert and Annie, right, but you're right. When they first got together, I was like, ooh, I don't know, because he and she, they clashed a lot, but they are just adorable. You are so right.
Right, but so is marriage still the goal? These folks go all over the world. Is a traditional marriage still the goal?
Okay, so all right. I was catching an airplane. I was catching a flight early one morning. I was in an airport lounge about 5:30 in the morning. And I see this man, he's got this, Wall Street Journal newspaper. Actually, I noticed him because I was like, oh, a real newspaper. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. So he's reading the newspaper. And I was talking to one of the people that work there in the lounge, and he peered over at me from his newspaper. And he said, excuse me. He said, your voice sounds really familiar. Do you host 90 Day Fiance? And I was like, oh, wow. I said, yeah, I do. He said, oh, my wife and I love the show, and very conservative. I said, love the show. I said, tell me why do you watch? What do you like about the show? And he said, this show demonstrates how far people will go just to be loved. Okay? Just to find love.
Okay.
And yes, oftentimes marriage is the goal, and that's because of the K-1 visa. They get over here because of the K-1 visa, and you have 90 days in which to get married, so they got to get married. Now, if they did not have that timeline, would many of them get married so quickly? No, probably not.
But just be on the show, though, even beyond the show, is marriage still the goal? Like, is marriage?
You're saying for everybody,
period.
Not just people. Well, I would say no. You know what? I had a girlfriend tell me, and this girlfriend she's on one of the Housewives shows. Okay. I won't say who.
I got you.
Okay. But very well known on one of the Housewives franchises. And she said to me one time, she says, and she, when we were having this conversation, married, kid or kids. I'm not going to tell you which one.
I got you. I got you.
But she says, I don't know why, if it weren't for having kids, why anyone would want to be married.
You see how you did that, though? One of the things that I find most fascinating about you is I think the KGB has cleaned the internet for you. Because you did a Jedi mind trick. I asked you a question if marriage is the goal, and you pulled a proxy from another show to answer the question. That's really interesting how you just did that.
Steve, I want to, but here's the thing. You and I are friends, but I want you to know
yes, we are.
I've been doing this interviewing game since you were a baby.
She's saying that. She's saying that because she is ageless. You know how many times I had to look up your age and say, you lying. Most people lie about their age to say they're younger. No.
You know, when I first started when I first started at Access in 99, there was no Wikipedia. There was no, place where you can go just log on and find out somebody's age. And back then you had to, if you want to find out somebody's age, you had to go down to the DMV, okay, and file some papers and get somebody's age. And now, it's kind of like it's different today. But thank you. But
you can acknowledge that. At least a birthday. If you're not going to say whether or not marriage is the goal, because you just took my little question and balled it up and threw it away. But tell people your age, because you got a birthday coming up.
I have a birthday, 7/11. It's my birthday, July 11th. I actually think that's the best day of the year because it's right in the middle of the year. 7/11, lucky. Okay, so back to your marriage question. Is the goal to be married? I have been married. I'm divorced. So I don't feel the pressure to be married. I don't. And I don't know. I have girlfriends who really want to be married, and I have girlfriends who are married and who really don't want to be married. So no, seriously, I know. Yeah, I know that, marriage is, to me, what is good is having just someone, if you want to, you don't always have to, just someone who is like your person. Like, that's my person. That's the feeling that I think people are after.
Where do you think the pressure comes from? Because these folks are going all over the world, Shaun. They're going all over the world
to be loved.
So where does that pressure come from?
Well, isn't it ingrained in us from the very, from the very beginning? Steve, if I had a dime for every time someone said, "How come you ain't married?"
Like that, though?
I'd have a lot of dimes. Okay, I would have a lot of dimes, especially for women. It's always like, okay, you're in a relationship. What do you do? You married yet? So we keep that conversation going. We keep that going.
A woman's worth?
Yes. Pardon me?
Is it an indication of a woman's worth?
Whether she is married or not?
Yeah. Is that where the pressure comes from?
Well, I think that less today than it was, 30 years ago. But I have a lot of amazing friends who are not married and not stressed about being married. But I think there is, like, I had parents who never pressured me to get married.
Sure.
A lot of people are not in that situation. A lot of people do have that pressure from family members, parents saying, when are you going to get married? When are you going to give us some grandchildren? So fortunately, I never had that pressure. And after having been married once, I don't feel like I had a huge wedding,
Did you?
Hundreds of
I actually have a theory about that. I actually think that the larger the wedding, the shorter the marriage.
Really? Okay.
I think that the people who get caught up in the ceremony lose the intent behind it. The larger the percent of your income that you spend on the event, the less committed I believe you are to the actual experience of the complexity of marriage.
Okay, that's interesting. Are you married?
Yes.
Did you have a big or small wedding?
It was bigger than I thought because at the time we didn't have a lot of money, but it was small
Okay.
by most considerations. Married 25 years, but it was
Oh,
otherwise
wow.
small.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was other small. So when you say small, how many people?
It's 100 people, like
Okay.
125. But
Oh, now
keep
wait
in
a minute.
mind,
Okay.
but listen,
125. Okay.
but listen. Keep in mind, I have 40 first cousins who all live in Middletown, where Darcy lives.
Back to Darcy.
Back to Darcy.
Back to Darcy. But I can beat that. I can top
How many?
that. My grandmother's father. Okay, my grandmother up in that corner. My grandmother's father from Barnesville, Georgia, had 22 children. 11
On purpose?
11 by his first wife, 11 by his second wife, 11 boys, 11 girls, and both wives were named Lizzie. So my family populated Georgia.
Yeah. Why is Papa was a Rolling Stone rolling in my mind right now?
See, wait, the second Lizzie is, where's the second Lizzie? Second Lizzie's right there. Do you see?
I do.
Yeah, that's the second Lizzie. Yep.
So is this a motivation for you?
To have 22 children?
Not the least. To avoid having 22 children. Big family?
Yeah, I come from a big extended family. Yes, a very big extended family. So I have cousins all over the country. So so I had, and it's interesting that you asked that because, because I don't have children, but because I do have so many cousins and because I do have such a big family, that pressure has never been something that I have felt to have biological children.
So you're the dope auntie is what it is.
Yeah, I'm a really cool auntie. Really cool auntie.
Did they talk to you about things like sex and stuff like that?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
How was that for you? Was it challenging?
Well, no, because listen, I mean, because I spent my long time in Hollywood. They looked at me as kind of like the cool. Listen, everything goes on here, so they figure anything that they say to me, definitely would not shock me. So.
I see that. So let's stay there for a second. There are times I'm watching 90 Day, like when Ed was on.
Yeah.
Big Ed.
Big Ed, yeah, but I know Big Ed very well.
I bet you do. And I wondered how you keep a straight face during some of these, especially the post shows.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind? Like, what's the bubble over your head?
Well, here's the thing, and I love talking about this. I'm glad you asked. We've had some crazy moments on the show. We've had some really, really wild moments. Big Ed has delivered. I mean, there was Lisa, Angela has been. Angela did a little flash to the camera. We had there was this guy Muhammad who gave Danielle annulment papers on the set. I mean, there've been a lot of crazy things that have happened. And I used to just over the years, because I've done the show since 2016. And TLC, the executives at TLC we've had this conversation about what my role is. My role is not to judge.
Okay.
My role is not to say, you crazy fool. Okay, what the hell were you thinking? That's not my role to do that. My role is to give them to appear, not to have any bias, and to give them the opportunity to say what they want to say. And so it is not right for me to take sides. I mean, some things are just like blatant.
But you push though.
Right.
But you push though. You push though. You push. You push.
Well, but pushing is different from taking sides.
That's fair.
That's different from taking sides. And so, yeah, I mean, sometimes things somebody says something and you go, okay, because that's
what's
not
one of those moments
I would have made.
That come to your mind?
Just had one with Ben and Mahogany, when Ben said
Yes.
he was sending Mahogany thousands of dollars and had never seen her. He had only corresponded with her via text. And he sent her this money and, was surprised that the relationship wasn't exactly the way he thought it was going to be. So, it was like, and I said, so you sent her $1,000. You had never seen her. You had just corresponded by text. And he said, yeah. I go, okay. Okay. That's what he wanted to do. He said she needed help and he wanted to help her,
I also respected how the show didn't allow gender to be an issue, didn't allow sexuality to be an issue. I think that's dope. You're a producer now on 90 Day Fiance Bears All. Like, we're going to pause for a minute and let's give that to you. I'm sorry, my dog is over here just trying to get some attention. So forgive me. My other hand was petting him. That's Ditto. He's trying to make his appearance.
Hey, Ditto.
Ditto, what's happening? He got his nails cut and they're really short, so he's really unhappy right now.
Isn't it interesting? Like, post-pandemic, you could have the dogs and the shots.
Right.
You could have the dog. Pre-pandemic, can you imagine if somebody had their dog like in a meeting?
Listen, I was on CNN, right? When I was on CNN, it's like I had to staple my kids to their rooms. Like, don't you move and say nothing to nobody. Now they're like walking past and like,
people like walk by the dog. People getting their DoorDash delivered.
And because we were Zooming in kids' houses, and so. You got 25 kids on a Zoom, and you're like, can you tell your mother to put something on that looks like a bra? Like, just like something that resembles a bra. Like, just because right now, the areola made their way into my eyes, and I can't unsee what I saw. Like, I'm in trouble now. I can't focus anymore. So now we're in people's homes. And that's really, to me, one of the most fascinating things about you. I joke with you a little bit about it, but you've kept your personal life really, really, really discreet and quiet in a space where everyone wants to see it.
No, it's not that it's discreet. It's just there ain't nothing happening.
Shut the front door.
No, literally, it's
just not possible. It's not possible. That's not even possible. I don't even believe you. Like, that's not even true.
That's really happening.
I'm explaining because I'm doing research and I'm thinking, man, I know Shaun, but maybe there's some stuff I don't really know about it. Let me see. It's like nothing here, nothing there. Like, literally blank pages. You know how you get the 404 error when you go to a dead page? Like this sister's got the KGB working on her behalf. Ed Snowden is helping her.
There's just, now if you want to Google how I'm hustling and working and all that, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the point. We got a lot of work, but we don't have a lot of play. Although I will say that's really not true, because I do, I go to events, I have my foundation, I travel.
I wanted to talk about,
pre-pandemic, I was traveling all over the world. My mother's watching on this, and we were traveling, going all over and traveling. So, so we got that. We've got me just working my butt off for the last 1,000 years. So, So
I want to talk to you about
scandal. Let me get it. I'm trying to dig up some scandal.
For yourself?
Yes.
You're good. One of the things that's fascinating about you is that you've been able to survive Black Twitter. How about that? Go you. You are beloved by Black Twitter. Go you.
Well,
I don't even know how you did that.
I don't know about beloved, but like I said, they might think, ain't just nothing happening.
So they tell me you got a hard stop, so I want to make sure I read that because I'm not going to be the one to yell.
I got a few more minutes.
Okay, good. Awesome. Now I'm really excited about that. So I want to talk about Shaun.
Since you were late, logging me into your interview.
You don't mean that, because I was way on time. Your little narrow behind was off in somewhere else trying to do whatever you were trying to do. But we won't. I'm not going to chew up my little minutes
but you
arguing
digress.
about why you were late.
Right.
But I digress. So tell me about Shaun. It's for young women who are. Go ahead.
Yes. So I started my foundation back in 2016. My mom, who's watching, my dad, God rest his soul, my grandparents, they always taught me, if God gives you a platform, use it to give back. And I come from a philanthropic family. And when I say philanthropic, I don't mean people who have had like their own nonprofits or foundations, but my mother, I've always seen my mother giving back to people who are less fortunate. My father, my grandparents. I remember, telling this story about when I was a little girl, hopping on the bus with my grandmother, and we're going to this building, and I would sit in the hallway with my little toy, and my grandmother would be sitting on a chair with a tube in her arm, and I didn't know it at the time, but what she was doing was giving blood. That to me is a form of philanthropy and giving back, because that was the call for people at that time to give blood to the Red Cross, to help so many people in our country. So I started the Shaun Foundation for Girls in 2016, and it has 5 pillars: SHAUN, STEM, health, arts, unity, and neighborhoods. And what we do is that we are a hybrid. We raise money and we give money away. So we're kind of like the pipeline to small nonprofits, small grassroots nonprofits that are doing work in one of these 5 areas of girls' issues. So, for example, under the STEM division, we gave a grant to an amazing organization called Tech Bridge Girls in Oakland, and they go into underserved school districts and teach girls about the STEM fields, how to build robots, how to make a bath busy, how to fix circuits, anything to get them interested in STEM. Under the health division, we gave a grant to an organization in Durham, North Carolina called Healthy Girls Save the World. And they go into underserved school districts and teach girls about healthy lifestyle habits, not only eating right and exercising, but having a good attitude and setting boundaries in relationships. So what we do is we find these small nonprofits around the country that are doing great, great work, and we give them grants so they can continue their mission. And people often ask me, Shaun, I want to work with your girls. I want to work with your girls. And we don't work directly with girls. What I wanted to do, not duplicate the efforts. I wanted to help the experts, the people who are the boots on the ground.
Very
people
smart.
Who have been doing this for years, people who know what services that girls need. And so to help them with their mission. And so, I hope to one day, build the Shaun Foundation for Girls as, the go-to organization to help girls around the country. And so that's what we do. Like, I hold fundraisers because I got to raise money to give money away. So that's what we do.
Well, I will say this, as you know, if you ever need me, call. I want to do what I can to support the work that you guys do. You guys are fantastic in that. And they are walking by like, she's got to go. It's not me.
No, okay.
Then tell them to chill. All right, all right, yes, y'all can chill. She said it. I didn't. All right, good. So now
but if you ran out of questions for me, you can wrap it up.
Watch and see. So now that you're producing, producing the show, how do you think the show itself will change now that you're in charge?
Well.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
Mm-hmm. I got coffee on that one. Go ahead.
I would love to say. But when you say in charge, I was named an executive producer on the show. We have incredible executive producers. Well, there are a whole bunch of executive producers on the show. We have Sharp Entertainment. Yeah, Sharp Entertainment, headed by Matt Sharp. And they are the ones that go out and they're with the couples for, 6 months at a time, shooting with them and telling their stories and whatnot. And so I wanted to be, I thought it was important to be an executive producer on the show because I'm really have been invested in the show for a number of years. And also I'm very involved in the creative, like how are we doing things with the tell-all, and, the questions that should be raised during the tell-all. So that's my role as an executive producer, not to undo what anybody else has done, because we've got some, like I said, amazing people that work on the show. But this role, Steve, I spent 16 years at Access Hollywood. And, I thought towards the end of that, okay, what are the additional chapters going to look like? I'm doing on-camera stuff, I'm doing acting roles, and I'm still hosting a number of shows, but also I said, how do I expand my platform? And so executive producing was one of those things that I wanted to do. So not only with 90 Day Fiance, but also with the Seven Deadly Sins movie series that I do for Lifetime. So
that's right. I wanted to talk about that.
Yes,
So let's get there.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know we would get a chance to get to that, so now I'm really excited. So keep going.
Yeah, a few years ago, I optioned a series of books by Victoria Christopher Murray, an amazing author, called The Seven Deadly Sins.
Very cool sister who I used to be. I know when we were on the road together selling books, literally. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she wrote the Seven Deadly Sins series.
Super dope.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, Steve. I'm put you on the spot right now. Tell me the Seven Deadly Sins. Come on.
Shit, I don't know. I'm just trying to avoid them all. I'm a Christian under construction. I am. I know that one of them is gluttony. I know that one of them is gluttony.
Yes.
Yeah. That's. I'm at. Look.
You are at one. You can only name.
I got one. Sin?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to help you out.
The rest of them might be overrated. They might not be a sin. They just be maybe just misjudgment.
Okay. Lust.
Okay.
Envy. Greed, wrath, pride, gluttony, and sloth.
So I didn't know
it.
Being lazy is one of the seven deadly sins?
Absolutely.
I have employed some sinners in this world. A lot of money with some sinners.
Yeah, so we did last year, we aired Lust and Envy. I partnered with Bishop T.D. Jakes and Derek Williams. We aired Lust and Envy last year. This year, we aired Greed and Wrath. And next, we're working on Pride. So, seeing my name when the credits roll, seeing my name as an executive producer, when the movies air, I mean, I was like, wow, that was something I was able to check off on my bucket list. I'm still doing it, but it was the first time was really a thrill for me. And so, and Steve, as you know, we have, as you know, I have a picture of my grandmother, and she was about 50 years old in this picture. And by that time she had, okay, done, I'm going to dig in my garden and take care of the grandkids. It's not like that anymore. We're working until 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, so
until the wheels fall off.
Absolutely. The wheels fall off. You got to do it. And so I just wrote this list of things that I wanted to do. And, after I wrote that list, I said, okay, what are the action steps that I need to take to achieve these things? And so I optioned this book series, and I started going through my Rolodex, looking at different producers that I knew who are veteran producers in the business. I looked at, I contacted people that I knew at different, studios saying, would you be interested in this book series and turning it into a movie? And, finally that hard work paid off. So, I always tell people, set a goal, write down the action steps, and work on it every single day.
Well, won't you, with the internet showing us literally life and death, what won't you show on your shows that they're going to see on the internet?
Well, okay. So, it's different for different studios. So with Lifetime, the Lifetime network, we're not going to see, the same type of exposure of somebody's body that you're going to see on, say, HBO.
Okay.
So it's good, it's a lot different. And in terms of what we won't show, I want to do, I love stories that have a female center. I love stories that have some type of message to them, like these stories, the Seven Deadly Sins. It's all about redemption. Is there grace after sin? How do we turn our lives around? They're morality lessons. With 90 Day Fiance, you really get an insight to human behavior and why people do certain things. And, it has taught me to be more compassionate to people. I mean, here it is. These people are putting their lives on the line.
Right.
They get ripped on social media. but still, it's something that they, that they feel passionate about when we're talking about looking for love. So
when they're coming to you, so you're casting the show. I'm sure you play a
and
role
I don't
in
do
it.
the casting. I don't do the casting at all.
They're already casted once they come to you?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, clearly coming from Connecticut is one thing that they're looking for. But outside of that, what do you think the casting directors are looking for? Because there are a bunch of people who are saying, I want to be on 90 Day Fiance.
Yes.
I mean, because these are real people, yes?
They're real. Absolutely. And sometimes, Steve, I go, when I see after, they casted the people and they say, Shaun, here's our crew. And I go, wow. And I see the footage of after they've started to film with them. I said, these people are, this is real, huh? They're real. And they look for authenticity. I mean, I can honestly say that I have never, of all the couples I've met, I have never met a couple that I felt was there just for the camera. Now, they might like to be on camera, but nobody was, I'm going to be in this relationship simply for the camera. So they look for authenticity. I mean, they vet them as well as they can. Obviously, there are going to be some crazy things that pop up, but there have been bad matches,
Like, do you think what do you think is the future for Ariella and Benny?
Well, see,
His sisters cannot stand her at all.
Yeah, but that's common. That's common in relationships. Okay. Does your wife's family, everybody in her family, love you?
I don't think everybody in my family loves me. So you're asking a lot. that one, I can answer that for you. That's a hard no. That's easy.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So that happens,
But they threw wine in her face. That's a little bit more than
right. Absolutely.
Ridiculous.
That's bad. That's so bad. There is bad behavior. There's bad behavior. But there was. And of all the people that I've seen, there has only been, there have been people. Okay, there are people that I really, really like. Okay, I really like.
Who do you like?
And it's sort of like saying which is your favorite child, but like
I didn't ask you who you didn't like. I said who do you like?
Well, Darcy. I love Darcy. Love Darcy.
Okay.
And I don't want to go down the list, because then I'll,
I got you. That was cool.
There are people there have been couples or people on 90 Day, which I did not like. Like, I didn't like them. I didn't think they were a good person. Okay. And then there have been, I'd say, of those, there have been maybe 3 that I felt like they weren't really a good person. Then there was only one person that I said to TLC and to Sharp, I said, I'm not going to interview that person.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not going to interview that person.
Let me talk about how that's integrity. I'm going to tell you a quick Oprah story. I've never shared this publicly. So Iyanla had asked me to participate in a show that they were doing with a person. And I said, that's not really my thing. Like, it's not, that's not really me. She said, look, I just want you to work with the kids separate from from the person. So it's a very long story, but anyway, I'm going to shorten it to say that. So while I'm working with this person, cameras are everywhere, I'm thinking, this is a bad person. This cat is not good. Like, he's maniacal. Like, he's just not the guy. And so, for some obvious reasons. So anyway, I say to Iyanla, I say, this is going to sound really crazy, and we shot the whole season. I said, I'll do whatever y'all ask me to do. I signed the papers, so I'm in. like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is not like what I think. This is going to be bad. I think we're going to walk around and I think this is going to be bad. She said, well, let me call Miss O. And I said, I don't think we need to do that. Like, I feel like we should not. I think we should not do that. I feel like that's a bridge too far. No problem. This is a Friday night. Saturday morning, I get a call. It was a call. It was not a Zoom, so it tells you when it was. And all the people are on, all the producers are up there, and I could hear the nervousness on the call. And then Oprah comes on, and she says, so, Dr. Steve, I hear you have an issue with our show. Like, well, not me. I don't know. I'm good. And after a long conversation in which a lot was said between a lot of people, Sunday morning, I got another call. Show's canceled.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Integrity. Wow. A lot of people see Oprah, they don't know. She had an entire, she had an entire show.
Wow.
The whole 8 episodes were done. I know because I sat through them. And I'm telling you, people would have watched it. They would have, what I know. I don't know jack about TV. I read St. Kids at college. But you understand my point. It was that kind of salaciousness. And so that you would say to your team, this person, no bueno, speaks to the kind of integrity that a sister like Oprah has.
Yeah. And this particular, and kudos to you. And,
not me. I didn't cancel. She did.
Right. It for me, this particular person, like I said, we've had a lot of outrageous things happen. And this person, I felt just really crossed the line. And
can you share what they did that crossed the line?
They were just disrespectful to the point. And here, let me back up. There have been people that the network has said, this one, bye. Okay. Bye. Okay. And, and they don't make a big announcement about it or anything. But there have been people who have done certain things after we have started taping with them. And the network has made the decision, no, we cannot continue having a relationship with this person. Okay. And they could have been popular with the audience, but they said, no, we're not going to do it. And a couple of those people, I even said, gosh, I would love to interview them on the tele. Like, I would love, like, oh boy, that'd be good, interview them. And the network said, nope, we're not going to continue the relationship with them. So that's happened. And there have been times when Sharp, the production company that does the amazing job of putting this show together, has said, this feels icky, and we know people might watch it, but no, we know some things going on that you don't even know about, and we're going to discontinue the relationship with this person. Okay. And then the person that I said, I talked to them, I said, I cannot have a conversation with this person. Because then I need to, then you're not going to see this Shaun. Okay?
Right.
You like
Motown Shaun comes out.
Right. You might see, right. So, and I just said that that's not going to work. I said it's just not going to work. And they agreed. They agreed because in addition to the issue I had a problem with, there were like a litany of things that they also had a problem with. So it was really an easy one for them.
What are some of the things, some of the lessons that you pick up during the taping as you watch the interaction between the couples that you reflect upon in yourself? What are some of the behaviors, thoughts, ideas?
I got to tell you, Steve, and this is, and I think I might have alluded to it earlier. It is a lesson in calm for me. And my father, God rest his soul, he would always tell me, Shaun, don't be a reactionary. Like somebody would do something and I'd be like, you know, he'd be, baby, don't be a reactionary. Don't let them, you know, get you. And so just with the conversations I've had with the cast, and so many, you know, things are happening and people are yelling and, you know, producers talking to me in my ear and I'm trying to go to the next question. And so there's a lot of activity that's going on around me. And it has taught me to be center when there is, to find my center when there is a lot of chaos. And also to deal with, you know, some, like, you know, you might be in the grocery store and encounter somebody who is, you know, acting like they don't have any sense. And instead of reacting, it's kind of like you find the calm. You be the calmest person in the room, you know.
So there's that. So that's your global political answer. But in your personal life, assuming you ever have one, because you apparently don't right now.
Nope, nothing happened
but
in personal life.
I'm aware of that. But in the event that you were ever to hypothetically have one, what are some of the relationship lessons that you take?
Relationship lessons that I take. Oh, well, I could tell you that.
Now let's hear it.
And this is, and it's real simple. It's real simple. It comes down to communication and really asking the questions and really hearing what the person is saying. Because I'm like, you all didn't discuss having kids, whether they wanted to have kids and you wanted to have kids before you got married. That you all never talked about that. Or you didn't talk about what religion you were going to, you know.
Right. How about that one? She can't even wear a bikini. She can't even wear a bikini.
Participate. You never talked about that, you know, and
abs of steel. That's why.
And I'm just, so it's things like that, you know. So you have to have a list, really. I mean, if you're talking about getting married to somebody, you need to have a list. Okay, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the Supreme Court overruling Roe v. Wade? How do you feel about, you know, whatever? You've got to really ask these questions, so it's not a surprise after you get married. Can I give
you something on that?
Yep.
So I'm not sure I agree.
Okay. You're the one that's been married 25 years, so, you know.
No, but that's not why I'm not sure I agree. I'm not sure I agree because I don't know that you can know what you're going to experience before you've experienced it, right? So there's some things that you would think are the deal breakers. But if you meet most people who end up in divorce or at least in discord, they're arguing about whether or not they put the toilet paper over or under. Right? Well, they're not arguing about the big things. They're not arguing about whether or not they are going to have children. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted you, and that's
No. No, please. It's perfectly fine. We're having a conversation. It's not that deep. So and so I think the most important person that you got to have a conversation with before you enter into a relationship, especially intimate ones, is yourself. And ask what matters to me and what are my tolerances. The more you understand that in any relationship, you know how far you're willing to go.
Okay. I don't know if we're saying two different things though. You're saying
we might be saying the same thing.
Well, yeah. When they end up in divorce court, they're arguing about how the toilet paper roll is. I don't think anybody gets divorced because of the toilet paper roll. Okay, you know, because if you're still in love, However they put the toilet paper roll, oh, look, he always puts the toilet paper roll that way. That's what I think. Okay. That's what I think. Or if somebody smacks when they're chewing. Okay. Here's the thing. I think you have to understand what a person's North Star is. Okay. For example, if you believe that you should always help somebody because you got more financially than somebody else, if you think that you should always give money to people when they ask for it, and your spouse doesn't believe that too, then y'all going to have a problem down the line.
Right. So
because that can manifest itself in many different ways.
And what I recognize is that many people, when they're having conversations around marriage, what they do not recognize is the slow drip of water that cracks a stone.
Absolutely.
So when I use the example of the toilet paper, or as you use the example of the smacking of the gum or giving of the money, it's those things that you would never think could be the issue, but it's the confluence of those issues. It's the intersection of those issues that create the discord that makes it so that a person calls their friend and says, hey, can you believe such and such did such and such? Oh, girl, I can't even believe it did such and such. Those really the questions that the person you got to ask the questions to are yourself. What can you tolerate? What are you prepared to put up with, so to speak? Is what I think.
Yes. Right. Well, I think that if you are in the dating phase, okay, let's just say you date for 2 years. Okay, let's say you date for 2 years before you get married. That's the time to start asking questions, okay, to find out not so much because here's the thing. Stephen, I think it was Stephen Covey in the 7 habits of highly successful people, right? 7 habits of highly successful. He said, actions don't guide people, but principles guide people. So what are your principles? If you know what a person's principle is, you can predict what their action is going to be. You can predict what they're saying. Now that doesn't mean that they won't change down the line. Okay, that they won't change their mind, because we can change our mind. But I think that principles govern our actions.
We would hope, recognizing that principles themselves change. Recognizing that people, given different circumstances, if someone says to you, would you for X number of dollars? And you say, no, I would never. My principles say that I wouldn't. And then the numbers change, or your circumstances change where that money means something. It could change the way in which you react to that proposition. The point I'm making is, I think that one of the reasons why one of the reasons why the work that you're doing stands out is because it gives us a glimpse into the underpinnings of the pursuit of happiness, and how people will push themselves into very uncomfortable places, both physically, geographically, and emotionally, to contort to find love, whatever love means. Mm-hmm. And you, every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, give us the opportunity to do that, because you're dope and we really enjoy you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time out.
I do. This has been fun. This has been really fun. I appreciate
We got to do it again.
Yes. Congratulations to you and all of your success. I appreciate you inviting me on to talk about what I love is my baby, my child, my foundation, the Shaun Foundation for Girls. And if you want to find out more information about the Shaun Foundation for Girls, you can go to ShaunFoundationForGirls.org.
Or they could go to your website.
Yep. And that will link them to the Shaun Foundation for Girls.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
And what you'll see when you go to the Shaun Foundation, you'll see the story of some of the young women. You'll see the work that they're doing. It's super important that we support sisters who are doing good things. She is not just an intelligent woman and pretty face and Spelman grad. She is also a philanthropist. I'll try to say that one time slowly. A philanthropist who is committed to making sure that there are more Black girls just like her coming up to do something to change the world. Sis, I deeply appreciate you. I sincerely do. Can't wait for us to do this again sometime.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Take good care.
Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.